Today we're going to talk about fulvic acid and how it can be incredibly helpful in your skincare routine. Now, this is an ingredient I've talked about before, and I truly believe everybody should have in their arsenal. There has been some new science that has emerged that really hammers home the effectiveness of fulvic acid on eczema in particular. Now, you might not have eczema, but the deal is it's really effective with eczema, and I'll share that in a minute. But it's also really great if you have dandruff or itchy scalp. It's really good for scalp health in general and can encourage healthier hair. It's also excellent if you have redness in your skin, sensitivity, itchy skin, if you're dehydrated. All of those things fulvic acid can actually help with. First of all, what is fulvic acid? I'm going to keep this short because I've made videos about it before, but basically fulvic acid comes from the degradation of plants. The plants die and they decay, and organisms eat those plants, and basically the byproduct that comes out that's left over in the soil is fulvic and humic acids. Now, fulvic acid is rich in minerals. Like I'm talking 70 trace minerals in fulvic acid. Now, that means that it is really, really great for hydration. So there's a newer version of fulvic acid since the last time I made a video, or at least newer to me since that time a few years ago, and it's called carbohydrate derived fulvic acid. Now, it's still fulvic acid. The end result is still the same as this fulvic acid I've been using for several years, but the way that they get the fulvic acid is different. This comes from plants. So literally plants die, decay, the organisms eat them, it's in the soil, they get it from the soil and they combine it with a super filtered water, and that's what's in this bottle. That's how this kind of fulvic acid and the typical fulvic acid that you are going to see on the market in general, that's how it is derived. This newer version of fulvic acid is called carbohydrate-derived fulvic acid. And the big difference is it's made in a lab. It's made in a lab and it's derived from carbohydrates. It's synthetic, and they are able to standardize it. And why that's important is they're able to then study fulvic acid. So the end result of the fulvic acid is the same. Now, they say that it might be a little bit cleaner because there's no risk of stuff in the soil contaminating the fulvic acid, which if you have a reputable, good brand, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, at least I've never encountered issues with good old fulvic acid, especially when it's combined with reverse osmosis filtered water. But when it's made synthetically, you just have none of that because you never used soil to begin with. You never used the organic matter. You made the fulvic acid from something in a lab. So they can standardize it, then they can test it. And by running those tests, we can get some insight into what fulvic acid can really do for chronic inflammatory skin conditions. So I'm going to share with you one study that really impressed me and that got me thinking about this video. Now, let's break down this study. Basically, researchers took 36 people, and this is one of those gold standard type studies. It is randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, which gold standard, right? First of all, being double blind is super important. That means that the people that are using the products don't know if they're using the real deal, if they're using fulvic acid, or if they're using a placebo. And also the researchers working with them, studying them, don't know who got what either. That means there's no bias in what somebody might think should happen with or without the thing that they're studying, right? So half of those 36 people got the fulvic acid, half of them did not. And all 36 of those people had eczema, confirmed diagnosed eczema. Now, twice a day, they would either apply the fulvic acid or they would apply the placebo, the fake thing that was not fulvic acid. After 4 weeks, they assessed these people. So the results were that the fulvic acid significantly reduced eczema severity and redness. It outperformed the placebo in global improvement scores. Now, this is 4 weeks, just 4 weeks of using this twice a day, right? Now, the conclusion is that fulvic acid appears to be safe, well tolerated, and genuinely helpful for inflamed, compromised skin. So you can imagine if you extrapolate things like I do, I already knew that fulvic acid was great for redness. It is so good at soothing the skin. It's fantastic for hydration. So it's packed with these minerals that help hydrate your skin, but it also helps other things penetrate better. It improves the efficacy of everything else that you put on after it. It's so fantastic for that. And it's so easy to incorporate into your skincare routine, which I will share with you how I do and some ways that you might want to incorporate it into your skincare routine. So while this study uses the carbohydrate derived fulvic acid, I think it is safe to say that we can kind of extrapolate that information over to fulvic acid, as they are both fulvic acid, just derived from a different source. Now, carbohydrate derived fulvic acid is difficult to find. It's really, I mean, I went on a search for it. I think there's a brand out of like Sweden that has it, but it's very difficult to get here. There are a couple of products that I found that were interesting, but contain a bunch of other ingredients that I wasn't so interested in. So for me right now, I'm sticking with traditional fulvic acid as a recommendation until we can see more of the carbohydrate derived fulvic acid. Okay, so I want to share something that's really close to my heart. A good friend of mine has suffered from eczema and psoriasis her whole life, and she has been on a pretty intense regimen of medication her whole life. And recently, she has experienced some serious liver issues, like life-threatening, serious liver issues. And we only get one liver. And I now know a lot about the liver transplant list and stuff like that, stuff I never would have wanted to know about before. But I cannot help but wonder, had she been able to treat her eczema and psoriasis in a different way than having to be on heavy medications for years and years and years and years, decades, then maybe her liver would not be compromised now at barely 50 years old. So for me, after going through some of this, it just really reinforced my desire to share the information about fulvic acid so that if you or somebody that you know has eczema, you just know about it, because it is one of those things that it is safe and it is easy to use, it is inexpensive, and of course you should always talk to your doctor if you have confirmed eczema, psoriasis, or any of the things like that. Obviously you need to talk to your doctor, but it's worth that conversation. And if you know somebody else who has any of those inflammatory skin conditions, it's worth passing that information on to them so that they can incorporate it. Maybe they continue to take their medications, but they also use topical fulvic acid. They can also talk to their doctor about taking fulvic acid, because it can be really, really helpful internally with the hydration of our organs and also with inflammation, because that's the deal. It is crazy anti-inflammatory. So it's very, very helpful for any of those inflammatory skin conditions. So rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, adult acne, redness and sensitivity, anything that's related to inflammation, which is everything, can be helped by fulvic acid. The other thing about inflammation is chronic inflammation is aging to our skin. It's accelerated aging. So anything that we can do to lower the inflammatory markers inside and out is going to help with our aging process internally and externally. So for me, fulvic acid is one of those things that's kind of like DNA repair enzymes, where yes, it's going to help with some aesthetics, because it's definitely going to improve the hydration, the bounce, the glow of your skin. It's going to reduce the redness in your skin. It's going to really help with the look of your skin, but most importantly, it's going to help with the health of your skin. That is paramount, especially when you have a skin condition that requires you to take medications. If there's anything that you can do to reduce that, to spare your liver, you should do it. The other thing that I want to let you know about with fulvic acid, it is fantastic for scalp health. It can really, really help if you have psoriasis on your scalp. It can help if you have dandruff. It is just beautiful, and you can spray it on your scalp and it dries. It doesn't leave a residue. This, for example, is literally fulvic minerals. And like I said, it's that reverse osmosis water. It is the most simple formula ever. And that's what I look for when I look for fulvic acid. I will tell you that I ordered a new one. I'm gonna share it with you guys. I ordered a new one And this one is Mineral Face and Scalp Toner. This is from OIO Lab. Now I ordered this one because it says it's specifically for face and for scalp. And I was really excited. And I'll tell you, I was really excited because my dad, he is 82 and he has definitely has some psoriasis on his scalp. He has some flaking and stuff like that. He's been a fisherman, hobbyist for years and really just did a number on his scalp. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna get him this one. It says it's specifically for scalp, which we'll get into that in a second. Anyway, I got this and I sprayed it on the first day that I got it. And you guys, it smells straight up like poo. It does. It smells like poo. Like I smell manure. And this was actually quite a bit more expensive than the one that I use all the time. So, this isn't a recommendation, mostly because it really is stinky, and spraying it straight on your face and certainly spraying it on your scalp into your hair just is not a good idea. But the deal is it's just fulvic acid. So this one is actually fantastic for your scalp as well. And you get a much bigger bottle and it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell. It literally has like the slightest earthy scent. I don't even know if I detect that anymore. I can douse myself in this and I don't notice any kind of like yucky smell or anything like that. Spray this on your scalp. You can spray this into dry hair. You can spray it after you wash your hair, and it will help with dandruff. It will help with psoriasis. It will help with eczema. So that is the Morningstar Minerals Derma Boost. I've been talking about this for years. There are like 3 others. There's a Hue Minerals, and then there's one other that I've used forever, and I can't remember because this one I just keep rebuying. But I am really, really liberal with this. The way that I use it, and I don't always remember to use it, I'll just be real with you, but the way that I do use it when I do cleanse my skin, I could do my P50, I could leave my P50 on for a little while, and then I could spray with this and literally do everything else in my routine. I could spray this over makeup if I wanted to. I could use it as a hydrating mist. I could use this with anything that requires conductivity. So if I'm using my Ziip, or if I'm using the new device from Higherdose, the body planer, I can use this with that because those minerals in the fulvic will help with conductivity. So it is just a multitasker. If I'm ever feeling red or hot or extra sensitive, I can spray this on and it will help to bring that down. You can keep this in the fridge so that it's a cool spritz of calming juice. Fantastic for sunburns. So for the summertime, it's really wonderful to have around and have in the fridge. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ingredient that I think everybody should consider and know about so you can share it with somebody else who might need the information. So I know at first glance, it sounds like compost in your skincare, or what the heck, why would we want to use something that you get from soil in our skincare? But the reality is it is so beneficial for so many people. I hope that you are having the most wonderful day. I hope you learned something today. I hope you'll pass this on to somebody else who might need this information. And I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.